maybe it helps if we bring in the microphone. Good evening. It's January 18, and it's another episode. Oh, and my loose contact. Great start today. How are we doing? January 18th already, and it's almost the new year 2023 already. Just kidding. Let's first start the show. Welcome back. I have the feeling that everything is kind of loud. I'm not sure why. Oh, let's also first start some music. And set the handle on Twitter. Cool. Ready to go, I think. Bitrate unstable. Why is the bitrate unstable? I'm on fiber. Not sure why everything is unstable. Well, let's start the show. Go to the coding window. There we are. Continuing on my website, Blazor was a WebAssembly website. Yeah, let's start Fish Studio and go to GitHub. Soft as in software. What's this on GitHub? What's changed? Xamarin Essentials. My microphone sounds different today. Not sure why. Maybe because I fixed my headphone things. I bought these items on AliExpress. These cushions for just a few euros. Let's bring the light in. Because the old ones were really deteriorated and I had to throw them out. But now my sound is completely different from my perspective, that is. Not sure if my son changed the settings for the audio. But let's continue here. Go to my profile. And still 100 commits, 100% commits. Go to the projects, and there's one project right now. Let's see what we have to do. Remove the counter page. That's a good thing. Let's see if the counter page is still in there. Pages, the counter page is still in there. Let's throw that out. And let's have a little bit of a look at the routing. Let's see if that's all fixed. If you go to my website, yeah, software.com. With the home button, and that should also be available through, if we look at this, using index/index. It's just reloading to the same page. Schedule. Have a look at schedule there. Schedule. Let's bring this up there so we can clear it for the chat window. Gear, we have a gear window. Gear, I think we can also get rid of the fetch data. Interesting to see that there's an HTTP client in there. Let's see how that's done with videos or index. That's not in here, that's in there. Injecting the client factory. Kick in the API so the fetch data can also go. We don't have a weather forecast. Gear, contact, there's a contact, it's in there. Blog, oh that's the external. I need to fix that as well because the blog site should also be part of the page. I think that's better than the menu there. I prefer it like this, where it has a link navigating to specific link. Ideas. So we should have a blog post site as well. Copy. Paste. Name this to blog. There's code behind with nothing in it. Let's for now copy this. This page will contain a link to my blog site. Click on the link below to open my blog pages. This should be changed to something else, like the navigation manager, something like that. HTTPS blog.soft as in software. In a new page, and this should be blog. By doing so, we should change the navigation menu. By creating this one, copy. Blog. Save. Ideas. About. My about page. About me. About. Who is behind soft as in software? That's the video card show thingy. And the imports file. Ctrl+Shift+S. Localhost. Search for localhost to get a local API that's already there. So let's run this and see how that works. F5. Swagger pages. Oh, now this one is live. Yeah, that's true. This one should be new and this one is live. Because if we click this one, it will probably go to the wait page. Yeah, live is 47 hours. What's the resolution of this? Oh, it's part of the remote screen. Closed it already. That was not what I wanted. My bitrate now is excellent according to Twitch. So we have this should also be done by index. Schedule, gear, contact, blog, and that has now a blog link in a new page. It's a terrible header. Should fix that header to make it more sizable. I closed it again. Good call. Thanks for that. Bind Azure AD. Ideas, about, and admin. And what I also did last week, and I did it outside of the stream, is adding the powered by part on the footer. Also want to have a look at this one, because this one should get a new tag, something like that. So we have to look at the properties there. YouTube service. And now it will probably take it from cache. So in here, let's put a break there. Let's first clean up the GitHub thing there, the remove counter page. That's done now. Add a new tag. This is what I'm looking at now. Also want to have a look at the navigation manager. Blazor, routing, navigation. Routing and navigation. So your basic routing is done by using the page directive, as we've seen in my project as well. If you have a look at the pages here, about, for instance, as the about page, it should start with /, otherwise it won't be recognized. When a Razor component .razor with a page directive is compiled, the generated component class is provided a route attribute specifying the component's route template. And if you go to the app.razor file in here, this is showing you the layout. If the route is found, then if it's not authorized, it will go to redirect to login. Otherwise, you're not authorized. If you need authorization, it's interesting. That's different than what we see here. Usually it will go through the route view, route data, route view, by default go through the main layout. Oh, that was not what I wanted. So for instance, the admin page that needs authorization, how do we specify that for authorization? Authorization. Blazor. Copy. Blazor authentication and authorization. There's a lot of content here. So let's go over that. Is that one of the items on the list here? The admin page. Add security. This one. Menu item topic software. Yeah, that's later on. Make web header screen aware. Create a footer on the website showing the current .NET version. That's already done. There's no way to link these work items to code check-ins, is it? On the GitHub. So let's first go through this part. ASP.NET Core supports configuration and management of security in Blazor. App security scenarios differ between Blazor server and WebAssembly apps because Blazor server apps run on the server. Really? Authorization checks are able to determine the UI option presented to the user. For example, which menu entries are available for the user. Access rules for areas of the app and components. Blazor WebAssembly apps run on the client. Authorization is only used to determine which UI options to show. Since client-side checks can be modified or bypassed by a user, Blazor WebAssembly app can't enforce authorization access rules. Razor page authorization conventions don't apply to routable Razor components if non-routable Razor components is embedded in a page. The page authorization convention indirectly affect the Razor component along with the rest of the page content. Sign-in manager, user from type user or end user manager aren't supported in Razor components. Blazor server apps use ASP.NET Core identity. For more information, see the following guidance: secure ASP.NET Core, Blazor web apps, or core identity in Blazor server app. Authentication. Blazor uses existing ASP.NET Core authentication mechanisms to establish the user identity. The exact mechanism depends on how the Blazor app is hosted. Blazor WebAssembly authentication. In Blazor WebAssembly apps, authentication checks can be bypassed because all client-side code can be modified by the users. The same is true for all client-side app technologies, including JavaScript, SPA frameworks, and native apps for operating systems. Add the following: a package reference to ASP.NET Core components authorization, to the apps project file, the Microsoft ASP.NET Core components authorization namespace to the apps import Razor file. To handle authentication, use a built-in or custom authentication state provider service is covered in the following sections. For more information on creating apps and configuration, see Secure ASP.NET Core Blazor WebAssembly. Blazor server apps operate on a real-time connection that's created using SignalR. Authentication and SignalR based apps is handled when the connection is established. Authentication can be based on a cookie or some other bearer token. The built-in authentication state provider service for Blazor server apps obtain authentication state data from ASP.NET Core HTTP context user. This is how authentication state integrates with existing ASP.NET Core authentication mechanisms. For more information, creating apps and configuration, see Secure ASP.NET Core Blazor server apps. Authentication state provider service, is that what mentioned here? No. Authentication state provider is underlying service used by the authorized view component. Authorized route view. And cascading authentication state component. You don't typically authenticate state provider by using authorized view component of task authentication state. Approaches described later in this article. The main drawback using authentication state provider directly is the component isn't notified automatically if the underlying authentication state data changes. The authentication state provider can provide the current claim principal data as shown in the following example. Authorization view. Security and identity for the WebAssembly. Blazor WebAssembly apps are secured in the same as a single-page application. There are several approaches for authentication users pass, but most commonly a comprehensive approach is using implementation based on Auth 2.0 protocols such as an OpenID Connect. Blazor WebAssembly supports authentication and authorization apps using OpenID Connect via the Microsoft ASP.NET Core Components WebAssembly Authentication Library. The library provides primitive seamlessly authentication against ASP.NET Core backends. Duende software might require to pay a license for production of Duende Identity Server. Authentication support in Blazor WebAssembly is built on top of the OIDC client JS library, which is used to handle the underlying authentication protocol. Require authorization for the entire app. In the app's import file, add the using directive for the Microsoft ASP.NET Core authorization namespace with an attribute directive for authorized attribute. In our case, we don't have to do the complete entire app. How do we do this on a page then? Refresh tokens can't be secured client-side in Blazor web apps. Therefore, refresh tokens shouldn't be sent to the app or direct use. Refresh tokens can be maintained and used by the server-side app in hosted Blazor solution access. Apps often require claims for users based on a web API called to a server. For example, claims are frequently used to establish authorization in an app. In these scenarios, the app requests an access token to access the service and use the token to obtain the user data for the claims. For example, CD following resources, blah blah blah. We don't recommend using Windows authentication with Blazor WebAssembly. Index page. That's not too clear here. identity server, how to build securely with Blazor WASM. How is this not on the Microsoft side? I click this, but nothing happens. Oh, there it is. That's a form validation, that's not authentication. Get started. Let's add .NET 6 to that to make sure that it's the latest and the greatest. For Studio, are we? Yeah, we're running for Studio. Index page. Troubleshoot. Standalone with Microsoft accounts. Configuration bind Azure ID. I think I have Azure ID somewhere in my thingy. Authentication. Azure Active Directory. B2C, is that like Facebook? With authentication library for Azure Active Directory, Azure Active Directory B2C. Don't follow guides in this topic. See AAD, AD B2C. In this table of contents node, create a standalone Blazor application. So what's used in here then? In here there's Google Open Authentication. Authorization. Index page, include a script. The app component, cascading authentication state. Redirect to login. Page produced by the authentication component, Page's authentication razor defines the routes required for handling different authentication stages. Troubleshoot. So my goal would be probably to go with either Microsoft account or Active Directory. Register an AAD app. navigate to Azure Active Directory in the Azure portal, select app registration in the sidebar, select a new registration button, provide a name for the app, Blazor standalone Active Directory Microsoft accounts in supported account types, accounts in organization directory. Create the app, replace the placeholders in the following command. The identity server, that's something different. Active Directory. So this is interesting because it's an existing application. Create the app in an empty folder. Replace the placeholders with the following command. Tenant ID. Tenant ID directory name. Add authentication to existing Blazor. We'll use Visual Studio Scaffolder to add identity support. Right-click on the Blazor web project and select Add New Scaffolding Item. Select Identity from the both left. Identity. That's a lot of information. Reset password. And the data adds a database. That's also not what we have in here. Let's first do the navigation manager. Have a look at the navigation manager. Blazor navigation manager. That's where we got stuck. Blazor route, Blazor routing. Focus an element on navigation. Use the focus on navigate component to set the UI focus to an element based on the CSS selector after navigation to another page. You can see focus on navigate component in use by app component and of an app generated from the Blazor template. Focus on navigate. Do I have that in mind? Yes. Selector is H1. When proceeding, router component navigates to a new page. Focus on navigate component sets focus to the page top level header. This is common strategy, ensuring that the page navigations are announced when using a screen reader. Provide custom content when content isn't found. Route to components from multiple assemblies. I have only one assembly, I think. Route parameters. The router uses parameters to populate corresponding component parameters with the same name. Route constraints. That's like the type. There's a GUID in here. Optional parameters. URLs that contain dots. Okay. Something is interpreted by the router as a request for a file name something. Without additional, an app returns a 404 not found if something was meant to route the component with a page route directive. Something is a route parameter value. To permit server app of a hosted Blazor WebAssembly to route to a request with a dot in the parameter route. Blah blah blah. Can we do that, by the way? Where is it? Here. Index.html. Nothing there. Catch all route. Name to message route segment name. Naming isn't case sensitive. String type. Framework does not provide automatic casting at the end of the URL. URL and navigation state helpers. Navigate to. Navigate to the counter component. Navigation manager, navigate to counter. For the location changed event, the location changed event arguments provided by the following information about navigation event location. The URL of the new location is navigation intercepted. If true, Blazor intercepted the navigation from browser is false. Navigation manager navigate to cost. navigation to occur. The following component navigates to the app counter component when the button is selected to using navigate to. The logger implements the logs of the following information when the button is selected. Blazor sample pages navigate information, URL of the new location, something blah blah blah. Query strings. So why would I use the navigation manager? Navlink and navmenu components. Navlink components in the place for HTML hyperlink when creating a navigation link. The navlink component behaves like an H element, except for toggles an active CSS class based on its href. Matching the current URL, the active class helps understand the page, which page is active. There's also a thing that we did in the STNcast site. Let's have a look at that. Here. STNcast. Select the revamp. Go to the source, stncast.nl. I think in here we have some rerouting, URL rewrite. Is that still possible? URL rewrite Blazor. Let's see, is this, by the way, a Blazor application? Pages? No, they are not. These are HTML pages. Rewrite rule, all kinds of rules. .NET Conf we do SDN cast .NET conf. Sorry, nothing there. If we do YouTube, that works. Subscribe. Yeah, same thing. That's this part. But can we add that to Blazor as well? During development, something blah blah blah. Why is this Bing URL rewrite? Docs.microsoft. What's it called? URL rewrite. Yeah. Don't think this is applicable on Blazor. Redirect Blazor. No redirect. Come on, guys, work with me. Yeah, this is server side. We can try it and see what happens. Where is this located? I think in the root, next to the startup. This repository, nowhere. Two locations. User rewriter. Let's see if that's possible. Where's my Fish Studio? All the way there. Startup, but we don't have a really startup anymore. It's now something here. Here, I should say. This is the app. We don't have an app anymore. There we have an app. Why is it not visible in here? It's on the API, okay. Services. Blazor client, there wasn't startup. No longer available. Paste as a root file. That's the existing project server app. Oh, there's a startup. Where was it? There, startup. That's the JavaScript thingy. App use. Program CS. There's no app in here. This returns an app, I think. WebAssembly host object. App is builder.build. There's app run async. Not async. Yeah, requires a restarting. That's okay. Review startup APIs. Does it still work if we do this? Restarting the application. I was restarting the application. Come on, guys. Where's the wasm? No, the swagger thing. Stop that. Rebuild and apply changes. It's in use. Let's stop this. WebAssembly pre-rendering. I don't have a server project. Yeah, we only have a run async. Core 5, Core 6, Apple Run. But this is no longer working. Let's see what's the code here. Where's the startup? Where's my startup here? So what I'm looking for is use rewriter. That's not found. Let's see if it's still available. nothing of that surfaces. That's interesting. Question is this WebAssembly? No WebAssembly in here. We don't have a configure anymore. Guess I'm the first one doing this. Reroute Blazor wasm. Assembly. Dum, dum, dum. Can you navigate to something else then? Let's try this. Here. Let's change this back. Build, run async. Pick an arbitrary page with not much in there. Why do we have still videos in here? I think that's not necessary. Videos. Video is no longer needed. Let's first pick one of these. Oh, I lost it. Copy. Page redirect, let's say this is called YouTube Navigation Manager. Navigate to. We just put something in HTTPS www.youtube.com/soft as in software question. I'm not signed in here. Oh, it doesn't matter. Copy link. Something like this. Save. F5. There we have Mr. Haikal Nazimi with his spam links. Thanks for putting that in the chat. It's NGO things. You should put it in the block items. Loading. There we are. Now go to YouTube. It's actually doing it. That works. So I also put something else like pages. Well, let's just copy the one that we have. Which one was it? This one. Copy. Paste. Rename that. So bring the gear back there. Control E uncomment. Now go to YouTube and remove the gear part and add another page item, like subscribe. This means if we now Ctrl save this all, F5, that's what I put a break in here because I wanted to have a look at the new status from the web page. Let's continue now. What? I didn't change a thing. The errors list. There's nothing in the errors list. I'm not sure why it was thinking that something changed here. Come on, guys. Let's stop it all. Start from scratch. F5. Subscribe. Oh. Okay, that seems to work. Let's see if we can find the new information on the video. I think that's done here. Oh, but that's not. This is not done if it's cached already. Okay, the memory cache is empty. That's the playlist. There we are. Show. What do we have on the show? Nothing much. Let's have a look at the YouTube. youtube.com/softtestingsoftware. And then specific one new. This is the upcoming one. Continue testing. Well, the text is exactly the same. Why is that? No, not this. Continue testing Blazor and Office.js. Watch. There's a show also. This is the one that's new, that's upcoming. These are properties on the model. What's on the snippet here? Upcoming. Oh, upcoming. There it is. Live broadcast content if upcoming. If that's interesting. That's this one. So in case it's live, let's have a look at the. Remove the break there. Yeah, this took too long, so it timed out. Remove that. So we have this one. Let's stop the application. Go to the layout of the show, I think. This one. If it's on air, then it's putting live. Else, well, we just can copy this. It's upcoming. Is in future. We have a card live class, but that should be a different one. App CSS. Card live. upcoming. Black. Go to this definition. Is in future, upcoming. Yeah. Let's run this. Why is it? Oh, it's putting this in. Why is that? To refresh it. Maybe it's CSS. Forcing the CSS to reload. There it is. Still need to fix the caching of these items. But at least it's working. We have an upcoming thing now. That's good. About. So look at SDN cast. January 11, that's last week. I like this card with the Twitter and Twitch and YouTube thingy there. Let's have a look at the About page from the other project. To at least have something in there. Guard clauses. So it's picking up this interesting picture. revamp. There we have source, new website, pages. There's the about page. Style info. Navigation, this one. I think I remember that I created a class or something like that. Weekly view. Besides the hosts mentioned here, we try to invite some blah blah blah. That's this one. Core members. That's a component I think I put in there. It must be the revamp. Pages, about, there's the about. Nothing to see in there. Analytics. Jumbotron, container. Is the navigation part. Then the weekly. Something completely different. Don't think this is the right one. Revamp again. Source. Let's go to the other one. Pages. About.razor. This is the right one. Host thumbnail. I think it's in the model. Cast member. Yeah, I think that's a bit much to take that from the website, from database. Oops, that's my mic. That was my mic. Social links. Components. Member list. Where's the member list? Here. Host thumbnail. I was looking for host thumbnail. This one. Social button Twitter, social button Twitch, social button YouTube. Class is a rounded circle. Bio link. Question is, what is in the bio link here? I can just open this for Studio. SDNcast. I think it's just in this app settings. Loading or what? Why is it not loading? No. It's just slow. Come on. Why is it not loading? Why is it not loading? Come on. Is it just waiting for something? Oh no. Close the application. Cancel. Try again. SDNcast. Not loaded correctly, okay. I don't care. I don't want to build it. I just want my reference here. Go to app settings there. No. App settings here. We raid. What's this Christmas stuff on my screen? I have all these Christmas thingies there. Really? Welcome to the stream. I see Christmas stuff on my screen. Oh, I hear myself. All these Christmas things there. Why do I start hearing myself? Welcome to the stream. I see Christmas. So, what is this? Is it gone now? Broken sword. What's your typing skills for today? Breaking your keyboard? I'm not sure why it was duplicating my audio. Echoing. Is it because it's on my website? Oh, no, not here. As per usual, on Tuesday, I'm going to drive home. Sure, yeah. I'll work when driving. While driving? Are you driving and watching at the same time? Thanks for the raid. One lion. Where is it? Completely distracted now. Oh, the home PC. After driving home, probably then. I had a configuration somewhere for the user. I don't know. Well, I can just go in here and select the information by inspecting. Just select this one. This, I think. That's interesting. It's, the link is already fixed to my new website. So the website is this. Copy value. Where's the copy? Instead of taking that from the settings, I will just now copy it from the other one. Target blank. Source of the image. That's this one. That's tricky. Because that's this one. Copy. Name. That's just me. Twitter account. Social button Twitter. Let's see if there's social button Twitter. Copying my own code here. Controllers, no. Where is it? Where did I put my things there? About, no. It's not properties. Extensions, no. Middleware? No. That's interesting. Where did it go? What was the name again? Social button Twitter. Nowhere? Oh, wait. Huh? That's not the right project. Let's go in here. Components. Social button Twitter. That's interesting. Can I do the same here? Like components. pages. Let's add a folder in here, components. Folder, components. Copy, create a new page in there. Blazor. Blazor with an A. Blazor component. Social button, Twitter. Let's see what it's doing with that. Not completely bad. Let's copy that from here. Copy. Oh. Type button. Oh, and this includes fabulous icons. Fab icons. Font awesome. Free. Like Twitter is in here probably. Yeah, see? So how do we add the latest version? Font Awesome 6 beta already. Icons, download. Is Blazor in here as well? No. NPM, I'm also not using NPM. Is there a CDN or something? CDN for font. Awesome. Let's check what is used in the other website here. There. Font awesome. Find CSS. There. That requires Font Awesome to be put in the library folder. Let's turn this around to make it the same thing as the other one. Check the library folder in here. Yeah, that's imported by Running npm, I think, is it? Package manager. Yeah, see, there's a font awesome. Can we add packages to Blazor? Blazor wasn't. It is, well, it's easy and can be done in 4 simple steps. Okay, there's Mr. Lagunas. Configure the app. WebAssembly, that's already there. Initialize npm in your Blazor app. npm init, why? That's kind of a mess, I think. Because then you also have to include Webpack. Really looking at for doing this. Should be an easier option. We will use font awesome to Blazor wasn't. There we have Stack Overflow. Oh, you can use a lib manager. Create the Blazor WebAssembly. Right click the double tap CSS folder, add client side library. Yeah, that's an option. Where is it? Dude, where is it? Add client side library, there it is. Find font awesome. Font awesome. There you are. So we pick everything just to have it available. Who cares? Target location. Don't want it on the root folder. Is this only CSS? No, it's not. Let's make that library. Let's create a subfolder library there. Let's try this. You can always remove it. Library, there it is. This one. Let's see if it's in the lib manager now. There's the link. Oh, there's my mic. Popping all your ears out, probably. Copy. turn it around again. Or I can just turn this one around. Looks like usually relation is first. And this should be, I think, in library. Font awesome. CSS. Font awesome min CSS. There. That's the one. We also need to bring in the JavaScript file, I think. Where is it? This one? Copy. Where do we bring that in? You can put a script tag below the other one at the bottom of the file. I have a script somewhere here. Don't think so. There, I think. And that's CSS. Font awesome. No, not font CSS. That should be library. Font awesome. JS. There's JS. And there's all min, I think. Yeah, that's okay. Save. This is the index HTML. Oh, why is it the... I should also put the other one here. This one should not be in there. Should be in here with all the other icons. Now let's stick the CSS together. There's a base for defining what's in the root of the page, the web, the Blazor pages. Go back to the social button here. The icon, that's Twitter, fab. Twitter. Let's see if we can find that in the other one. There it is, index. That's used for a different purpose. So we have the components, social button Twitter. See, that's this one. F8 Twitter. Yeah. think that's doubled. The fab is doubled there, so I think that's not correct. If you go in here, go to Twitter Razor. This is now it's duplicated. That's the bug, I would say. Because this will say fab something. Let's go to the website and have a look at that. Because there's the Twitter thingy. That's the image. The button. Must be somewhere here in place. There it is. See, this duplicated. That's a bug. I actually found a bug on this website here, but it's still, apparently it's still working if you duplicate it. This will be repeated here as well. Okay, let's go to font. Click navigate to. Navigate to, let's go to here. Twitter Razor. There's no navigate to here. Oh, that's probably in the social button. Kind of confusing. Where is it here? Back. We have a social button, that's the parent. This is object oriented. This is probably empty. So that's interesting. So if I put in, copy this, copy and paste that, and paste that and paste that and paste that. Not sure how many I need. First create a parent. We have Twitch. And we have something like a YouTube maybe. Let's have a look. Which one are available? YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Only 3. Guess so. Because the image itself will go to the blog. Same for it goes for the name. Then we have 3 options. That's FA YouTube. Same thing, duplicated, that's not right. Go in here. Twitch, Twitter, and what was the other one? YouTube, so this can go. Now create a back. Code behind files. Copy. Paste, make this social button razor.cs. Yes, rename it. Now it will be recognized. Yes, that's good. Copy, paste. Why is it not copy pasting? Copy. Paste. Yeah. And it will be Twitter. Twitter.razor. Copy, paste. That will be YouTube. is this all squiggly? YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Twitch needs still. We need Twitch there. Let's rename that. Tweet. Shh. There you are. That will be recognized. So go to the code behind for this one and go in here. Social button. No, this is the code behind version. Social button there. Oh, that's interesting. Component based. Copy all of this. Copy. Question is, can we simply use that here? Oh. Also copyright from my own code. What's all of this? Should have copied the raw stuff. Why is it putting JS interop in there? Oh, because it wants to interop. Oh, that's interesting. Navigate to. I don't think we need that in here. Because we just want a Blazor function there. That's interesting. Why is this done this way? Navigate to is not opening in a blank thing. Really? That's interesting. Already in there as well. The namespace to be changed. No, not API. Let's have a look at this one. Oh, there's nothing in there. Components. And this should not be web, this should be, is it web? It is web. There's nothing in the code behind there. Yeah, it is web. The question is it based for component base? Blazor. Awesome. social button is obviously not generic. When you add a code behind class to the instance, the counter page component base. Navigate to. So in this case, I use a component on the page where the parameter is set and the title is set. And there's an internal icon in the URL. Let's have a look at this one. That's injected. I also always want to open in blank in this case, so the example what we showed over here, something, this one, we don't use that. We only use the open blank. Apparently it's using the JavaScript interrupt for that. And here it's put in the JavaScript. I'm not sure if I need this. I don't think so actually. Because I also have this, I think in the Twitter link, the contact page. It's just a normal one. But there's no button. Well, let's first start with the components, fix the components there. The components are used. Let's take the, which one is this? YouTube. Overriding the class. Let's do the raw one now for an easier copy. Where's the YouTube component? There. And that should be software in software. In software.web. Let's make sure that's right. Components. I don't think we need this. Interesting. This one is not filled by the @ sign, so that's the only one working properly. Social button. the other one? Here. Back. YouTube, Twitter. Twitter there. Then copy this again. By the way, we can, with C# something, we can basically change this into something like this. I think by now, these days. This should be account ID that comes from the parent, I think. There. Well, let's keep it in for now. Let's see if we can implement parameters as well. YouTube, also account ID, Twitter, this one needs to be fixed. Twitch. Twitch. This is Twitch. Raw. Copy. Where is it? There. Nope. Let's pick the right window. Copy. Kill that. Oh. Doesn't understand how this is working, apparently. Using software web components, yeah. So this, in this case, it was generated in the other website, but the name will be Maarten van Stam. That's me. Title. Is it all set to, if you hover over it, probably? Where's the website? There's the website. Not sure if that's used. Copy. No. That should be software in software in this case. YouTube account, and I'm sure that this is not null or empty. YouTube account, it should be Twitter. This is Twitch, so that's software. I'm not sure if that Twitch needs is case sensitive or not. It's also soft as in software. It's the about page. That's what's the error here. Applying changes while the application is running, but the application is not running. Navigation 2 is not there. It's only for Twitter. Why is it only working for Twitter? Oh. Nope, that's not the right line to delete. Formatter is not recognizing this thingy. Let's try build. Navigate 2 does not exist. And that's on Twitter Razor. So how is that done on the other ones? Oh, that's not in there. Okay. That's bad. Copy. It will introduce the same issue. But I don't care for now. Button. So this is Twitch. This one, we need to fix that. Private async. So in this case, the toggle nav menu is it's in there. Why is it not in? Oh. It's a CSS. CSS? Really? Okay, you have a local CSS file attached to the Razor file. That's interesting. So on click and code behind. Copy Google. Blazor. Click. Yeah, but this is not the code behind. And there we have another YouTube spammer. Partial class. Increment. This is component based. Private void. Protected void. Protected override. Protected void. Where is it? I have components here. Protected. Huh? No. Navigate should be on the social button, I think. There. Internal. Protected. Let's solve it. Let's build it again. That's not there. Let's check the social button here. Social button should be empty. Namespace. No, that's a typo. Let's solve it. Components. Inherit social button. So that's this one. Quick check, social button, that's empty, I think. There's nothing in there. Yeah. See, that's completely empty. Then the code behind file. Apparently this is not visible for code behind on Blazor. That's the final version here. Combination of partial class and component-based inheritance. Public partial class. Is that public partial class on my side as well? Yeah. on initialized async. Protected. That's the constructor. There's no constructor in here. Constructor. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Async. YouTube, Twitter. Increment count is on here. Protected void. So it's complaining about go to definition. It's not finding it. Also be fixed. So this is not found. Navigate to. So what if I copy this to, let's say, here? Visible? No, it's still not visible. Let's change. See the change for counter. Lots of files. Counter. I remove the counter. There's the on click. Where is it? Increment count. On click all lower. Is that the issue? No. This is the one, private increment count. This is public partial class counter, but it's not derived. I wonder why that's not visible in navigate to private. That didn't help. Maybe I should just close the file, the project, and see if that's really the issue. Sometimes you need to reload it to get it back aligned. Loaded and ready to use. Let's build it. Build failed. Build failed, but there's no issue. One failed. So why is that not showing up in the error list? Oh, okay. Okay. Why is this failing? Because if I do something like code and take that out, that's not possible because it's not injected. Oh, maybe it's the injection missing. No, but it's injected on a different level. It's injected on this, I think. Question is, why do I still use JavaScript interop on this one? Let's have a check on the project there. New J packages. We do have some updates as well. No updates anymore. There's the interop. So it is in there, but it's not injected yet, I think. How's that done here? That's used here, but here is injected by social button. That's the same thing. In this case it's internal, but it's not found. I would think that we don't need to maybe Don't need to, because this one is not found. Internal. Then go to, because that's a parent. I'm missing something very simple. Inherit social button. CS0103. On click code behind Blazor. Component deflux, welcome. Component. Whoop whoop. Yeah, sure. How to properly add an on-click handler. That's not what we're looking for. Click me. Inherits counter code. Counter code. Oh wait. If it's a component, it needs to comply for this name, I think. Counter code. The code behind stuff should be using something like let's see. Inherits count code. This one is based on component based. But we take it over from social button. Social button there again. Because I probably can't use social button YouTube. Because now this is missing. Social button should be recognized as the parent. Public partial is the parent. Public partial. It's also public partial. I'm not sure why this is not picked up. So now 2. What's the other one? Circular reference, yeah. That's not right. And now it's not recognized anymore. It's not recognized. Oh, hitting my mic again. Come on, guys. Well, what if I just remove the click for now, so you're not able to click it? Still, yeah, that's working. So let's quickly do this. Remove don't click, so you have a button that we can't click. That's always a good thing with a button. To have a button that you can't click. You slapped my ears, yeah, I know. Davey 504 405 would be happy to slap that bass. Now the errors are gone. Question is, will it also show something? Slow today. Loading. Get this nice upcoming thing now. Oh, something went wrong there. But at least the image is there. Let's see what the error is here. Oops. Oopsie. Microsoft ASP.NET Core WebAssembly something does not have a property with the name title. Social button Twitter does not have a property with title, but that's also inherited from web components. Let's copy this. Let's stop the website here. Twitter. It was saying that Notepad social button doesn't have a title. This was called from the About page. Where's the About page there? It was complaining that it did not have a property like this. But this is inherited by the social button, and the social button has a title. So the object-oriented thing is not working for some reason. The easiest thing would be to just leave the idea of social button with the overarching information there. What I could sneak in there is something like social button. That's inherited by social button. There's no need to do this because it's already in there, I would say. If only, doing it again. Come on, guys, work with me. So what I can do is leave the idea here. Don't save that. Go to social button there. Copy all of this. Copy. That's Twitch. Take this out. Bring the parameter in. And the navigation 2. And it's not a summary. Social button. Taking this out. And now we have some smelly code. Twitter. Do the same thing here. And last one, YouTube. Bring that in as well. A lot of duplicate code now, but apparently inheriting from the social button is not working here in Blazor. So now let's try adding the button back again, the on click. Twitch. Oh, why is my insert on click? Should be on click. That's not working. Equals to something. Navigate to. And it's still not found. Why is it not finding it? Oh, inheritance. In this case, inherits. Is it inherits? Yeah, inherits. Social button. What is it? Twitch. Save. Will it solve it? Still not working with me. Oh, yeah, there's an issue here. Save. Is it now fixed? No. Still not fixed. Why is this not working? Page counter. Must be something stupid. Private. Is now protected. Master class approach can work well, but you might have issues in generic components and more complex scenarios. The other way to create code behind: create a new class file with the same directory, add partial to the class. Done. Yeah, but that's what he did, isn't he? The one that we were looking at, I think. Yeah. On click. Click. Now it's red. Why is it now red? There's a capital B button. Button. Oh, yeah. Huh? It's a web form. That's something different. Set the onClick attribute to provide string. Delegate value should be of the type Microsoft ASP.NET Core Components Web Mouse Event Arguments. Blazor components. quotes around it. Component based. Yeah, so in our case, it's not. Let's check it again. Blazor provides you with the ability to easily create components. In effect, the Blazor framework is component-based, means Blazor page or Blazor tag you develop is a component. Blazor component usually consists of the following parts: C#, C, blah blah blah, inline code behind, and class-only component. You also have a class-only component. That's interesting. Inline component. Inline component is where the HTML markup view and the C# code are structured in the same file. This is old, I think. Code behind. The component base. Component base. Not used anywhere else. Google code behind component Blazor WebAssembly WebAssembly. It's component based. Copy. Is that the issue? Still not working with me. Behind, but what was the button in front of the code behind then? Google, no, Google. I've been here before, I think. I do have the capital thing in there. Yeah, that's all okay. Routing markup. Component. Lots of components. Markup. Public. It's also public. Partial class support. Namespaces. Nested components. Heading example, heading. Blazor. Like this. There's the button. But in this case it's using a page directive. Component parameters. Child content. Can set the content of another component. This is the parent. Here is the fragment. In this case, it's not code behind. Back to the code behind part. Should be so easy. Functions. Why is this old? There's the navigate to again. Oh, that's unsafe. Is here calling functions. Blazor component. This is basically what I did. Is that a different thing than Blazor component? Component base? Does it exist? How hard can this be, guys? Must be something really stupid here. Button. So no need to put type as button. Let's start with the basics. Blazor, WebAssembly, components. There we are. Blazor apps are built in Razor components, blah blah blah. Using MVC and Razor page apps. Razor extension. That's valid. Routing. Routing is achieved by the routing template. When the page with the page directory is compiled, blah blah blah. Hello world. That's markup. Page markup. Nested components. So we have a shared heading Razor, and this is basically the thingy. adopting heading. The heading is to be found. Where is it? That was not the one I was looking at, this one. There's the button. And now if we put in something like this, code. I really don't understand because I already had things like this in place. Messing it up. Current count's not used. That's now recognized, but if we move this to social, maybe is the name too long? Social button Twitch. Now the button is visible. So let's run this. Social button Twitch. Now my button is still not there because of a lot of things. Social button Twitter, social button Twitch does not have property match title, same thing. The code behind is simply not recognized, so what's the issue with the code behind there? If we go to an existing one like this, that's in the namespace of these things. There's the class name public partial class index. And then we go in here, like Twitch, and take this out, and take that out because I think that's not used. Public partial class. Oh. Public partial class index. And is there a constructor in here? Don't think so. We do have an initialized async. title is also not visible. Oh wait, it's called... What was the complaint? It complained about the name maybe? Where is the about page? Yeah, title. Is it using inherit? It's using. Parameter public string, if that's code, not code behind. So if you go to Twitch, for instance, and we take up the title there, copy, Twitch there. Take that out. Do the same thing for all the others. This one. Yeah, that's not needed because I don't use it. Oh yeah, I do. Let's copy the same thing there. Just to test it. And then go in here. Let's see if it now stops complaining about the title. Oh, it's inherit social button. That's not right. Close this again, because this will fail again. Yeah. Because this one should be social button YouTube. Title can go here if it's not used. Removing all the object orientation there. Let's see if it's now stopped complaining about the title. And the other problem is something else. What's the problem now? Oh. Social button Twitter. This is no longer needed, I think. Is it? Yeah. Build. Okay. still fail because we're missing another parameter. Yeah. And it's now complaining about account ID, true. Because that's also in the code behind. Tweets, yeah, put it in here as well. This one. Kill it from each of these ones. This one. This one. Save. Oh, F5. It is building, I think. There we are. Yeah, it's doing nothing here, but navigation is also not in here. Also, the class is not working, but at least the button is now showing up. Need to move that to, because that's also not working. So if I now bring this into kind of sad if you have to do this. Because it's also not adopting this part, styling. Well, let's revert this. Let's wrap it up for today, because it's 1 a.m. already. I need to get up at 6 a.m. but that's really early. This component stuff is harder than I expected, really. So we are now in almost 4 hours of stream, and I will be back on Thursday. Probably going to continue with this a little bit, because I want to get this fixed. So everyone in the chat, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again next time, and have a good night, good night's rest. At least I will, because it's already very late. Thanks for watching, and see you later.